What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports, and oh my goodness, that game dragged on and on and on and on. So many runs, terrible pitching on both sides. Man. But hey, the Phillies won. The Phillies win 15-10. Thank God the offense showed up today, because the Cubs offense eventually woke up today as well. Because Aaron Nola, meh. He was meh today. Bailey Falter was not good out of the bullpen either. I don't know why Joe Girardi kept him in as long as he did. It was just ugly. Pitching on both sides. You got Jake Arrieta on the other side of the bump. Talking about, denting someone's skull or something like that when he was in Philadelphia. He got lit up for 7 runs and he didn't go bats 2 innings. The guy sucks. Jake Arrieta sucks. Man, the pitching was terrible. It was so terrible. If you were expecting a pitching duel today, I feel bad for you. Because it was an offensive outburst from both sides. Javi Baez hitting 2 home runs for the Cubs. Just home runs galore on both teams. Bryce Harper finally hitting something that's not a solo home run for once. Rhys Hoskins hitting the scoreboard with a bomb. Andrew McCutcheon with a grand slam in the first inning. Everything was just happening today. Everything. Bombs galore, home runs, everything, runs scored, people just continuously getting on base, errors from the Cubs side, and terrible pitching to top it off. And there's a lot to get into. But you win the first 2 games of this series, which is important. It definitely is. I'm not going to take away that. You won the first 2 games of the series, but it's more important that you win the series tomorrow, especially when you have Zach Wheeler on the mound. You desperately have to win tomorrow's game. And you better, in offense, I swear to God, if you don't show up tomorrow for Zach Wheeler after scoring you scored 13 on Monday and you scored 15 yesterday. I'm not going to do the quick math in my head because I'm probably going to get it wrong. What is that, like 28 runs combined? Monday and Tuesday? You better score tomorrow for Zach Wheeler. You better score. Because if Zach Wheeler goes out there and pitches you a gem and you do not score for him and you eventually lose the game, yeah, there's a problem. That is a problem. But hey, not going to complain that much. Well, actually, I'm going to complain a little bit because the pitching was terrible. The pitching was absolutely terrible. I'll get into the pitching side first. Aaron Nola, very meh today. First 2 innings, really good. Low pitch count, and he was getting out of the innings really quickly. Striking out people, getting fly balls, ground balls, whatever you name it. Low pitch count. 3rd inning, he struggled mightily. Mightily. He had like 20-something pitches for the first 2 innings, and then he ended the 3rd inning with around 50 pitches. So we had almost 30 pitches in the 3rd inning. So he struggled mightily in that 3rd inning. And he got out of that struggle. He did. He allowed 3 runs, but he eventually got out of the jam. But you're up 7-0 at that point. You shouldn't be allowing the Cubs to wake their bats up, because when you're going up by that large margin, this is definitely not that type of game where you want the Cubs to wake their bats up, because now the Cubs, they are on an 11-game losing streak, but their offense over this course of the losing streak has been very bad. And this is a game where they lost because their pitching sucked, but their offense didn't, because they scored 10 runs in this game. 10 runs should be enough to win you a ball game. But in today's instance, it wasn't, for the Cubs' sake. So you better hope that Aaron Nola and Bailey Falter did not wake the Cubs lineup up for tomorrow's game against Zach Wheeler, because we desperately don't need that, and we desperately need to win this series. Split is unacceptable in my opinion. After you win the series against the Padres, you win the first 2 games here, you cannot split this series. You have to win tomorrow with Zach Wheeler on the mound. I'm not saying sweep them, I'm saying win the series. You have to win tomorrow, or you have to win Thursday. Tomorrow should be better, guaranteed, because you have Zach Wheeler on the mound, but the offense, hasn't been scoring runs for Zach Wheeler as of late, so it's not guaranteed. And it's kind of very frustrating. Definitely is. But still, not going to get my hopes up whatsoever. But the Phillies, they need to do a lot to prove to us that they can do something. But at the end of the day, they're still the same old Phillies. They are. The bullpen is not that good. The starting pitching besides Zach Wheeler is very meh. It's very meh, or just poor. Aaron Nola has been, I don't even know what's wrong with Aaron Nola this season. He just has not been Aaron Nola at all. Hasn't. Zach Eflin, very inconsistent. Vince Velasquez, even though he throws in a couple of good starts here and there, he's been very Vince Velasquez-esque. And then your fifth starter, Matt Moore, the experiment with Spencer Howard. It's not good. It's not good. And when you have majority of your bullpen guys having a above 4 ERA, you're not going to win that many ball games. And your offense really had to step up tonight. And it did in big ways. It definitely did. The offense was amazing tonight. Bryce Harper going 5 for 6. He was perfect with runners in scoring position. I think he was he was 4 for 4 maybe, I think, or 5 for 5 with runners in scoring position. He was perfect with those. Rhys Hoskins had a great day at the plate. Andrew McCutchen, like I said, he had the grand slam. Gene Segura was amazing at the plate as well. So offensively, a big night for this team. But really just can't afford if you woke the Cubs bat up, because all the Cubs hitting home runs, and Javi Baez hitting absolute bombs during this game as well. And he also hit the bomb yesterday too. But hopefully you're not waking this Cubs team up, because you desperately don't need that going into tomorrow's game or Thursday's game at all. You just don't. You definitely don't. So, looking more at the pitching before we get into the rest of the game, for the Phillies side, Aaron Nola, 6 innings, 6 hits allowed, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, and 1 home run allowed to Javier Baez. So, third inning, he really struggled, but he did manage to go 6 strong. He managed to go 6 innings. So, expect more, but at least he went the 6 innings, so I guess that's the benefit at the most, I guess. Bailey Falter, not good out of the bullpen. He pitched an inning in 2/3, 6 hits allowed, 5 earned runs, 1 strikeout, 1 home run allowed. Bailey Falter was not good out of the bullpen. I don't know why Joe Girardi kept him in for as long as he did. That just boggles my mind. Hector Neris came in to finish off the 8th inning. He only needed 1 pitch with actually a nice defensive play from Alec Boehm. So, Hector Neris only needed 1 pitch to have a good night, because he didn't pitch the 9th inning. That was De Los Santos that came in. He went 1 inning, allowed 2 hits, 1 earned run on a home run, and he struck out 3. So, bullpen, besides Falter, pretty okay. It was okay. There wasn't really that much going on. The pitching was just not good on both sides. It just wasn't. So, going into what happened during this entire game, because there is a lot. So, you go into that first inning. The very first pitch from Jake Arrieta is Gene Segura doubling down the left field line, and it gets stuck in the ivy, so you definitely know what type of game it was going to be tonight. JT Realmuto gets hit by a pitch. Bryce Harper, a hard single in the right field, loads up the bases. Andrew McCutchen, what does he do? Grand slam. Definitely got helped by the wind out the center field, but it carried out of the ballpark. We'll take those any day of the week. And it's a 4-0 Phillies lead after the first inning. Then you go into the top of the second inning. Travis Jankowski walks. He eventually steals second base. Gene Segura gets an RBI single to score him in, makes it a 5-0 game. Then the Phillies once again get the bases loaded with Andrew McCutchen again at the plate. He strikes out eventually, but then Phillies get a little bit of luck, because Rhys Hoskins put a fly ball to center field. Ian Happ misplays the ball. He played a little too deep, tried diving for the ball. I think he called it at first too, but the ball just bounced out of his glove, so it bounced right back onto the field, and 2 runs managed to score off of that play, so it became a 7-0 Phillies lead. And then you go into the bottom of the third inning, the Cubs finally get their first run of the game. It's Jock Peterson getting a double, scoring 1 to make it a 7-1 game. And then Chris Bryant, he also gets an RBI single, makes it a 7-2 ball game. And then a sac fly for Javi Baez, making it a 7-3 ball game. So Aaron Nola really struggled in that third inning. It was not good at all. But then you go into the top of the 4th inning, because it felt like in this game, once the Cubs responded, the Phillies offense did respond, so that was really a good thing for the Phillies. Gene Segura with another single, JT Realmuto walks, Bryce Harper getting an RBI double to right field. It also gets stuck into the ivy, so instead of scoring 2 runs, it scored 1 run, so it made it an 8-3 ball game. And then Rhys Hoskins, he gets a sac fly, and then he makes it a 9-3 ball game, which scored JT Realmuto. So you got 9-3 after the 4th inning, and then you go into the bottom of the 5th inning. You actually got some break in between there with no runs scored for both teams. You go into the bottom of the 5th inning. Javier Baez crushing a ball to left field, making it a 9-4 ball game. And then Phillies respond in the top of the 7th inning. It's Rhys Hoskins hitting an absolute bomb to left field, which went off the scoreboard. Went off, I think, at the midway off the scoreboard, and it landed back onto the field. So an absolute, I'm not even sure how deep it went. It had to go at least over 450, right? It had to be at least over 450 feet. I hope I am right on that case. But the Phillies continue to do damage in the top of the 7th inning. Alec Boehm reaches on with a fielding error. Travis Jankowski also reaches on with a weird catcher interference by Wilson Contreras. Brad Miller gets a single, which loads the bases up for Gene Segura. He gets an RBI single, which scores in a couple of runs to make it a 12-2 ball game. And then the Phillies are not done there. Cubs change pitchers. The pitcher comes out. First pitch he broke to Bryce Harper. Bomb into the stands on the first pitch. 3-run bomb for Bryce Harper. His first non-solo home run of the season, and he makes it a 15-4 ball game for the Phillies. A lot of stuff happened in this game. Go bottom 7. Jock Peterson gets an RBI single, makes it a 15-5 ball game, and then eventually Javi Baez hits a 2-run shot to dead center field, which makes it a 15-7 ball game. Go bottom of the 8th inning, Ian Happ gets an RBI double, makes it 15-8, and then Jake Marisnik eventually gets a sac fly in the 8th as well, making it a 15-9 ball game. Then you go into the bottom of the 9th, Robinson Chirinos hits a home run off of De Los Santos to make it a 15-10 ball game, and then eventually that is how your night ends, with the Phillies winning 50-10 in a major offensive outburst from both sides of the plate for both teams. It's a very long game. Very long. It dragged on. It definitely was exciting offensively, but I was just like, eventually, come on, just get the game over with, please. Like, I love offensive outbursts, but like, this is ridiculous at this point. That is just my honest opinion. It got to the point where it was utterly ridiculous how bad the pitching was on both sides. It was. So, going to the lineup for the Phillies tonight, Gene Segura goes 4 for 6, 2 RBIs, 4 runs scored. Jitsu Realmuto, he goes 0 for 3 with 3 runs scored, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Bryce Harper, fantastic night at the plate, goes 5 for 6 with 4 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Andrew McCutchen only went 1 for 5, but that one hit was a grand slam in the first inning, so definitely a good night for him in the batter's box. Rhys Hoskins, also a great night in the batter's box. He goes 3 for 5 with 4 RBIs and a run scored. Didi Gregorius, probably one of the more quiet people in the lineup. He goes 0 for 5 with 2 strikeouts. Same thing with Alec Boehm. He goes 0 for 5 with 2 strikeouts as well. He did reach on with a fielding error, but that doesn't count as a hit in the hit column, so he goes 0 for 5. Travis Jankowski, he goes 1 for 3 with a walk and 2 runs scored. Brad Miller also got a pinch hit appearance. He got a hit and scored a run as well. Luke Williams, he replaced Andrew McCutchen in this ballgame later on. He went 1 for 1 in his appearance. Ronald Torreyes also had a pinch hit appearance as well. He walked, so it did not count as an official at-bat. For runners in scoring position, the Phillies were 9 for 18, and they left 8 runners stranded on base. So, great night offensively, and I just want to go over Jake Arrieta because it's absolutely hilarious. He does in the last 2 innings. He only goes an inning and 2/3, 6 hits allowed, 7 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and the grand slam allowed to Andrew McCutchen. So, I guess the Phillies put a dent in his skull, I guess. Man, what a ball game. What an interesting ball game. I don't know what to say. I feel like I'm speechless. I feel like I've said all I've had to say because it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. Because I'm so conflicted with this team. I don't know what to think because I know at the end of the day, they are a very, 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 very mediocre team. We're on the side of a bad team. But if you look at the standings, technically, they are still in it because the Phillies hopped into second place today, tied with the Atlanta Braves. They are 41 and 42, 4 games behind the New York Mets. They are 44 and 37 in first place. And actually, they're not tied with the Braves. They are tied with the Nationals. The Nationals have the same record as the Phillies at 41 and 42. The Braves fall to 4th place. They are 41 and 44. So I am very conflicted what to think with this team because I am more on the side of even if you do go on the run, if you do, and you somehow make the playoffs, you're not going to do anything. The defense on this team is flat out terrible. The bullpen is trash. Your starting pitching is nowhere close to good enough besides Zach Wheeler. Your lineup is very inconsistent. It just is. It really is. Your lineup is insanely inconsistent. Everything about this team is so consistent and just not on the side of good. Yeah, the offense definitely can have outbursts like this from time to time. They were the 5th best offense last year in the shortened season, but over a full 162, it's not that type of offense. They are probably a middle of the bunch, maybe closer to, I would say, top 15 offense in baseball. I would say the offense is probably the least worries of this team. It's more the defense, the pitching, bullpen, more of that stuff. And what do you do at the deadline? I don't know. I'm more on the side of, because I know Dombrowski said before the season started he was looking at the season more of as a retool type of season. So are the Phillies going into the deadline as sellers? Are they going to be buyers? Are they going to be a mix of both? Because what is this team? Like, what is this team's identity? They don't have one. This team has no identity at all. Bad pitching. They blow games. Bad defense. That's basically their identity. They're not that good of a baseball team. I don't think they're going to go on a run. It's like, yeah, if you want to prove to us that you can possibly go on a run, you have to win ball games in wide stretches. You have to win 9 out of 10. You have to win 10 out of 11. You have to go on those types of streaks. You can't win 5 out of 6 and then eventually lose 3 out of 5. You can't be doing that. You have to go on stretches. And who knows, maybe if they go on a nice stretch here before the All-Star break and they finish off this All-Star break with a nice little streak on their hands, yeah, maybe something changes. Maybe their hopes get up. But my hopes aren't going to get up because at the end of the day, I know what this team is. This team gets very hot. This team gets very cold. That's what they are. They're a very mediocre team. And I don't know what this team does at the deadline. Like, I hate talking about the trade deadline, like, in terms of, like, what I think they should do, because they won this ball game 15-10. They've won 4 out of their last 5 ball games. So I hate talking like that, but, like, at the point, you have to face reality for what it is. This ball club really isn't that good. Yeah, they're on a nice stretch, but how long is it going to last? And that's why I'm more on the side of sell at the deadline, where maybe your product has most of the value. Sell Rhys Hoskins. Maybe you can sell a guy like Aaron Nola. Maybe a team still, like, I know Aaron Nola is having a bad season this year, so his value might not be as high as in previous, but some teams will see his contract. It's very reasonable. It's very team friendly, and possibly a team can pick that up and you could get some nice prospects in return, because you definitely need to bolster the prospect system because your prospect system is so terrible. You have no names in the prospect system. Basically, your only 2 guys are Mick Abel and Bryson Stott. And your Mick Abel, who knows how far away he is from Major League Baseball. Who knows how long he is from pitching in a Major League ball game. Probably, 2, 3, 4 years away at this point? You never know. It all depends on how he develops, and this team is terrible at developing their prospects. That's been the summary of this team for so long. That's why they're one of the worst franchises in sports. Like, I know I hate going on this type of topic, but still, it's reality. It's reality at this point. But hey, you won the ball game. That's all that matters at this point, doesn't it? Isn't it? Let's bring the words of Rhys Hoskins. Let's only focus on the positives. Let's do that. They won this ball game 15-10, and let's see if they can win tomorrow's series with Zach Wheeler on the mound. And hopefully they do. Hopefully. So, that's going to end this video here. What are your thoughts on this video, everyone? What are your thoughts on the Phillies' performance, Bryce Harper, the offense, everything, how bad the pitching was? I want to hear all your thoughts down in the comment section below. So don't forget to leave those down there. Don't forget to drop a like on this video, and don't forget to check out the Panda Lines, which I'm a part of. All their stuff is down in the description below. And also, don't forget to check out the links to BrodesMedia, the Flyer to Pod merchandise website, and also for Flyers Nitty Gritty. All of that good stuff is down in the description below, so definitely go check that out. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, everyone. And I will see you next time.